Hey everybody, Adam Welch back with you for an extremely brief and impromptu episode of Straight Talk on Photography. I have been working on a brand new video e-course series coming to contrastly.com, and it's got me to thinking about how much emphasis that we place on the technical, all of our cameras, all of our gear, all of our processing, all the emphasis that we place on the procedural sides of photography today. And you know, maybe I'm part of the problem. You know, most of the things that I do revolves around photo education, but I find myself wondering if we're not overlooking the biggest part of the photographic puzzle. And it made me think about Ansel Adams. Yeah, that Ansel Adams. I don't know if you've heard of him. You know, he was kind of big in photography. But anyway, and I found myself going more and more back to his books, and to that end, I realized that I wasn't so much reaching for the camera, the negative, those kind of books by him, but more so some of his personal work, his autobiographical work, and that is what I wanted to share with you today. Actually, a couple books that I've literally just went and pulled off my very sparse bookshelf, and I wanted to tell you why I think these are some of the books that you should have. And that's another thing, you know, we spend so much money and time and effort into the gear portion of our photography and the technical side, learning, hey, look at Ansel Adams trying to figure out his ephemeral zone system, some of the stuff that he did with cameras and negatives if you still work in the dark room, which I do from time to time. But some of the most useful and practical lessons that I have learned from Ansel Adams has came from either looking at his commentary on his photographs or reading his autobiography, and that's what I have here. And he talks about literally from his birth, which he was fairly young when he was born, but it talks about his upbringing in San Francisco, out in California. This was, I think he was born in 1902, and he talks about getting his first camera. He talks about his family. This follows him all the way over into his work in commercial photography, moving into landscape photography, him going to see Stieglitz in New York that actually gave him his start at American Place. And that is just a huge source. I hate using the word. It is just a huge source of inspiration for anybody, especially if you're just starting out in photography, to know that everybody started somewhere. You know, this whole world of photography that we built for ourselves, all the layers of bullshit that we're constructing, and it makes us think that everybody had it easy, everybody had it perfect. You have to work to be a photographer, and you have to work and work and work to be a working photographer, and it's not easy. We all struggle, even some of the great ones. So pick up Ansel Adams' autobiography. Really, 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 really necessary reading if you want to get serious about your photography. Another absolutely excellent book that I would recommend is Ansel Adams's Examples. It's the making of 40 of his photographs and what Ansel has done. He went through and he selected, go figure, 40 photographs, and each one of them have the commentary directly by Ansel. It gives a lot of insight over what he was thinking, what he was feeling, what it took to get him to these certain points for some of these like incredibly famous photographs, and some of them really not so famous. There's a few in here that I've never even seen until I got a hold of this book. But the point is, the essence of photography lies not so much in, I just said essence of photography. Anyway, the core of photography lies not so much in our gear, our equipment, not even the way that we learn certain indomitable rules of photography, like ISO, shutter speed, aperture. What makes a great photograph and an impacting photograph doesn't really lie in what kind of camera we're using, the lens, sometimes not even the technical prowess of the photograph, the technical perfection of an image, but rather us being able to inject and convey what we're feeling and what we're thinking and what's going on in our lives to the viewer, and we do that through our photographs. And to end up this super short video, I'm going to leave you with a quote from Ansel Adams himself. He said, "There are no rules for good photographs, there are only good photographs." Wrap your mind around that. In the meantime, if you want to check out these two books, Ansel Adams' Autobiography, this thing is going, it's not this massive hardcover like I have, but you can get it on Amazon, I think for like under 14 bucks now, under 14 or 15 bucks. So really cheap for the amount of information you get and the insight. And Ansel Adams, The Making of 40 Photographs, Examples, Honestly, I'm not sure how much this is going now, but I can guarantee you it's probably pretty cheap on Amazon. I actually have a books section on my Amazon influencer page. Yeah, shameful, I know. But anyway, I think you should really check out the books more so than the gear, even though that's on there. So cruise that book section. Those books are on there. Actually, a few of my books are on there that I've written. And anyway, I think it's really going to help you out, and I think help you out more so than going and dumping a lot of money and some gear you might not need. So anyway, add a few photographic wrinkles to your brain. This has been Adam for Straight Talk on Photography. Go read.